Hi guys, welcome back to Steep Riders. Today we're with Josh and we are reviewing his Ktm RC125. It's the 2016 edition, so I'm going to hand over to him to tell you some more about it.
Alright, I'm Josh, this is my Ktm RC. It's a 15 brake horsepower bike with a 12 Newton meters of torque. It's a good little bike, good comfy ride. Done a lot to it, keep spending money on it with the KTM.
So gears wise,
Yep.
6 speed, isn't it?
6 gears, yeah.
6 gears. Have you ever taken it any long journeys?
I took it down to the Isle of Wight last year, 110 miles from my house to the ferry, all the way around the Isle of Wight and back.
What was that like for comfort?
It's absolutely fine,
Yeah?
not a problem. Seat's comfy, you get down when you need to, and yeah, brilliant.
How's the suspension?
Suspension's pretty good. It's nice and smooth, no bumps really,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's good.
What about the miles per gallon, the tank size? Do you know what the sort of range you can do on that tank?
So from my house to work is about 12.5 miles, and I do that trip obviously twice, so 24 miles a day for a week, so about 125 miles a tank I'd say.
That's pretty
Depends
good.
on how you're riding really.
Yeah. Brakes wise, has this got ABS?
ABS, yeah.
ABS. What's the brakes like? Are they
Pretty smooth, pretty nice. Never had a problem with it.
Yeah. So what's the weight of it then?
The dry weight is 135 kg, I believe.
Okay. Seat height, you're about 6 foot, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and the seat height is 120 millimeters. So
820.
820 millimeters, yeah.
What's that like? Is that pretty good for
pretty
you?
Comfy, easy to get on and off. It's never had a problem with it.
Can you fit your feet flat on the floor when you're...
Yep, feet flat on the floor with a little bit of play in my knees, but
it's all right.
absolutely fine.
Top speed wise?
I've had it on 83 miles an hour downhill. The Aquaprovic and the air filter probably helped with that. But when I first got the bike it was about 65 on a flat in a nice summer day. So.
Do you know of any common problems, or what bad things have you had with it?
Some of the common problems I had is when it's raining, like now, the airbox is underneath the seat. When you get going on the bike, when it's cold, the engine likes to cut out. That's only really in the winter, in the rain. Apart from that, obviously the back wheel, you could put a mud guard on it, get pretty soaking wet on the back after a couple of hours of riding in the rain. Apart from that, I've never really had a problem, except from the mirror screws. I replaced the mirror screws because the mirrors vibrate and they jam up pretty well. I've rounded off so many Allen keys doing that, so I replaced it with a flathead. Apart from that, not really anything else I can think is bad about it.
What about parts wise? Are they cheap, expensive?
The parts are pretty expensive, but I mean, it's got the same frame as the RC390, so they're easy to come by. People are always trying to sell parts for an KTM, but yeah, they are pretty pricey, depending on which part you break.
And you said, so is this a bike that you can fit the 390 engine straight into?
You can put the 390 engine into this. I haven't, but you do need the engine and the wiring loom to make it work. Okay.
Storage wise, what have you got?
The storage is under seat storage with a tool bag which will come with. Gives you the tools to tighten your chain and all sorts, Allen keys, tighten bolts and fits. There's no storage under the pillion seat at all.
That seat, that's actually not plastic, is it?
No, it's not plastic, it is a pillion seat.
It's a pillion. Yeah.
Does
so
look like
it
a
looks
race
comfy.
cow,
yeah, it looks comfy, but you've never taken.
No, never.
So good points about it.
It's comfy, it goes well, good for fuel. To me, I just like it. You can really get it down on the corners. You can really open her up. There's not many bad things I can say about the bike, except from the parts are expensive.
Have you done any mods yourself, or is there anything that is recommended for these bikes?
I've done a lot to the bike. I've changed the air filter to a DNA filter. I've put a tail tidy on it, an RNG, clearly an Aquaprovic, the RNG crash protection, and just a few other little bits like an LEDs. Changed the bulbs to brighter bulbs and all sorts. I've put an alarm system on it, which has saved the bike a couple of times. It's also got a tracker in it, so I can see where the bike is at all times. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I've done to it.
Okay. How are the lights?
The lights are pretty good, they're nice and bright. Yeah, you can't really fault the lights.
Yeah, they're all, are they LEDs?
Not LEDs,
Not LEDs.
Halogen.
Is there anything unique about the bike that is, you know, different from other bikes?
I think its look and its style. You don't really see many bright orange bikes going around, and it is quite nice because it's an eye catcher. When I first got the bike, everyone started looking. It's nice to have that. People look. But I mean, it's different. The mirrors are different. You don't really see a bike like this, I think.
On the Speedo, what sort of things have you got? So trip counter, that sort of thing.
On the dash, you've got there's different buttons to sort all out, but you've got the gear, what gear you're in, the revs, speed. You've got time and all sorts. You've got your temperature of the bike, and obviously how much fuel you got. You can change it and all that, but yeah.
What can you change it to then?
Well, you can change from the time. You can go to miles, how many miles you've got left, how many miles you've done, how many miles to the next service, all that.
That's good. Tax wise and insurance, so how many claims have you got and stuff like that?
I made one claim.
Yeah.
Had a small crash, fixed the bike up. The insurance for me, while I'm young, was quite expensive, but the tax is about £2 a month. It's not really anything. But yeah, no, tax, insurance wise, it's a sports bike. All sports bikes can be expensive for someone young.
So what sort of price are you paying? How old are you?
18.
18, and how much?
My first year of riding this was last year. I was paying £1,600 a year. So that would come to about £205 a month for 8 months. But now I'm paying £125 for 8 months. So it dropped dramatically after the first year.
Yeah.
But MCE, pretty good for that.
So money wise, as we're talking about it now, how much was the bike? How much are these new? Because you got this second hand, didn't you?
I got this one second hand a year and a half ago for £2,400. I thought it was a little bit pricey at first, but after 6 months riding, it was the best decision I've ever made.
And what are these new? Do you know what they're new?
About £4,500.
£4,500. Okay, so what sort of miles did you have? Did you have full service history when you bought this or not?
The bike was well looked after. Full service history, immaculate. Guy cleaned it. We got there, and I went with my uncle, who does a lot with bikes. He told me there was a small leak on the radiator. The guy was straight down, got his finger out, licked the fluid, and told him it was very liquid where he cleaned the wheels. Yeah, it's absolutely immaculate. Yeah.
That's good. So overall, would you recommend this bike to anyone?
I would. I want to get a big bike next year, but I don't want to get rid of this one. That's the problem. A lot of people are the same with me. I want to put an RC, I want to get an RC 390 maybe, but it's the same frame, same structure, same seat and all that. But yeah, it's a good bike to ride. Never let me down.